Hi there, Science Apprentice. My name is Noemí Durán, and I want to welcome you to Creation Lab. In this 10-video series, we will go over the week of creation and all of the wonderful things that God created for us on each day. Some of the experiments that you will see in this program are dangerous, and you should not try to do them at home. We will mark them with this symbol. For some of the experiments that we will mark with this other symbol, it will be necessary for an adult to be with you to help you with the difficult or dangerous steps. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth vegetation, seed-bearing plants and fruit trees, each bearing fruit with seed according to its kind." And it was so. Do you remember what we talked about in the last program? Very good. About the third day of the week of creation, when God separated water from the dry land, and how important water is. So today, we move on to the fourth day. What'd you say? That I forgot something? You are so right. We haven't finished the third day yet. We're missing the most important thing, something incredible, extraordinary. Because on this day, before sunset, God spoke again and created life. The earth was covered in green, grass sprouted, and trees started to grow. The first flowers opened. The first living things on earth weren't humans or animals. They were plants. And this makes a lot of sense. God knows very well what He's doing. What's so special about plants? What makes them different from animals? Plants are autotrophs. What a word, right? Now you try. Autotrophs. It means that plants feed themselves without needing other living things. Do you know what plants eat? Plants eat water, air, and light. They take water from the ground, carbon dioxide from the air, and they use the energy from light to bring the two together and make sugars. With these sugars, the leaves, the stems, the roots, and the fruit are built. And that's how a plant grows. This process is called photosynthesis. Today is the day of difficult words. Did you catch what is needed for photosynthesis? Light, air, and water. All the things that have already been created. A round of applause for God. First, He created everything so that plants could eat and grow, and then He created the plants. Today, we're going to do 2 experiments with plants. For the first one, we need 2 or 3 white carnations, 1 glass for each carnation, and food coloring. We are going to put water in 2 glasses. And we are going to dissolve food coloring in each one, each a different color. We take a carnation and cut its stem diagonally so that there is more stem surface in contact with the liquid. We put it in a glass, and we do the same with the other carnation. This experiment must be left to rest for a few hours. And if you let it rest for 2 or 3 days, you'll see it even better. 24 hours later, this is the result. Do you know what happened? Simple.
Muy fácil.
Plants absorb water through roots, and it travels up the stem to the petals. And it does this because water can climb thin tubes by sticking to the walls. In this case, there are no roots, but it's the same. The water climbed the stem until it reached the petals of the carnation, dyeing it the color of the food coloring that we put in the glass. The second experiment is more difficult. You are going to work with small things, and you're going to have to do it very carefully. But since you're already an expert scientist, I'm sure you're going to do great. We are going to demonstrate what happens in a leaf during photosynthesis. To do it, we need spinach leaves, baking soda, a syringe without a needle, a glass, and a paper hole punch. The first step in the experiment is to take a spinach leaf and punch a few holes in it with a paper hole punch in a smooth area, not over any of the nerves. Next, we're going to put the little round pieces into the syringe without a needle. As a source of carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis, we are going to use water with baking soda, so that it will be charged full of carbon dioxide to speed up the experiment. So, we are going to dilute a spoonful of baking soda in a glass of water. We are going to press the little circles against the end of the syringe without forcing too much. And then, we're going to take the water with baking soda and fill the syringe. If we turn the syringe right side up, we'll see that the circles float. This is because the leaf has air inside, which makes the circles float. For this experiment, we want to remove all the air from the circles, so we have to get them to release that air. We're going to do this as follows. The first thing that we do is push a little water out of the syringe until there is no air left. Next, we're going to create a vacuum. We're going to use our finger to cover the tip of the syringe, and then we're going to pull the plunger down with force. This will cause the air inside the circles to come out and stay in the water. We have to repeat this process multiple times until we get the circles to stop floating and fall to the bottom. When we have gotten most of the circles to fall to the bottom, we are going to remove the plunger from the syringe and pour the water into the glass. If any of the circles still float, we are going to remove them very carefully with the help of tweezers. When we have all the circles at the bottom of the glass, we can start our photosynthesis experiment. And for that, we need a source of light. So we have to put the glass in the sun or near a light bulb. For this experiment, you also have to have a little patience. As the little leaf circles go through photosynthesis, they will start to produce oxygen. This will produce little bubbles that will make them float again. What happened here? When we put the spinach circles under the light, the plant cells started to photosynthesize using water and the carbon dioxide in it. Photosynthesis produces oxygen, which is a lighter gas. The little oxygen bubbles accumulate inside the spinach circles and makes them float. Today was an intense day, with a lot of scientific words. What did we learn? That God created plants on the third day of the week of creation. That plants are living things that are very special because they can fabricate themselves from water, air, and light. That God is very smart and organized and always does things right. Do you know that Jesus compared himself to a plant? He said that he was like a vine, a great plant, and that we have to be connected to him if we want to bear fruit. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. And that's it for today's program. But remember, we're not done yet. A good scientist is never satisfied with just seeing how others do things. They have to try it for themselves. So now it's your turn to put on your lab coat, your safety glasses, and your gloves, and do the experiment at home. And don't forget to ask for permission and take all necessary precautions. See you next time.